Welcome to the Scuttlebutt Podcast. There are lots of drinks, there are no rules, and it is a lot of fun. Relax, you are amongst friends.
And you are amongst friends. What's going on, everybody? We're inviting you to pull up your chair, pour your glass, and light whatever it is you're smoking on. You already know who it is. We got Hermes and Theron again, and we have another duo guest of honor today. We have DeWayne and Nick from Miles, Mountains, and Brews podcast. What is going on, gentlemen?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty well. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Like I said, I already got started. We were chatting it up in the pre-show that nobody was privy to, and I'm 3 Bloody Marys and a beer ahead of you guys. So how are we gonna catch up now?
Is that a Guinness?
That is a Guinness. Yeah,
actual Guinness. Okay, well, can I crack open the beer?
You are amongst friends, man. Whatever you would like to do. I guess that is part of the tradition. Yeah, you guys are a long-time listeners, first-time guesting, right?
Correct.
What are you guys drinking on over there?
DeWayne?
Well, I'm drinking on a Rogue Bat Squatch.
Good old Rogue. Shout out, sponsor Rogue.
Oh yeah, Rogue.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with Rogue with the back swatch either. Is that your favorite one?
No, not my favorite. Not at all.
No.
I'm trying to get closer to the favorite that I have, but after visiting brewery after brewery after brewery, it's not getting easier. It's not getting easier.
Right?
There's so many good ones out there right now.
That is fair. Have you tried the I want to say it's the strawberry something, and I'm gonna blank
fruity.
Too fruity.
You too fruity for you? That's what I thought, but Rogue did it really well. It didn't taste, like that normal like strawberry stuff. It wasn't syrupy at all. It was very interesting. I again, just shouting out Rogue again because of like I'm a fan of the Bat Squatch and everything, but it was a new one I tried, the strawberry one, and I was just blown away. I was like, this is incredible. This is the best fruity girl. I could give this to any first date and also not feel bad that I was into girly drinks,
Right. Well, I talked about fruity, but then I was representing Truly before, I came in. So shout out to Truly, but it's early here and I have to maintain for the 49er game tonight. So
he has an excuse, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to press him on it.
But I am.
The excuse is that he's a 49er fan.
I am also drinking a Lewitt brewing from Lewitt Brewing Company Iron Rabbit Hazy IPA. It's a 4.3. That's the lowest I've ever had an IPA. So it's new to me, just drinking it. But then after this is done, I'm hitting the Truly and maintaining just the easy glide in the day,
We'll see how those plans end up coming out to fruition after being on the Scuttlebutt podcast. We'll see how that goes for you. But
cheers, guys. Cheers
to you. So I just have my Guinness over here. And Theron, what are you drinking on over there?
Just for you guys, I can't see it with the green screen. I brought a twisted tea.
I like it.
You guys are always flipping me shit, and so I had to come in clutch.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. You see it. I'm using your profile to get twisted tea.
Hey, if we can do it together, I'm totally on board.
I'm telling you.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I don't have the merch cup today, so it doesn't taste quite as good as it could. But we need shirts, so I got my shirt.
You're always representing that, man. There you go. That's awesome, dude.
So as long as you got some merch somewhere, things are gonna go easier. It makes the day brighter.
It always does. It always does.
Yeah.
So now that we're nice and comfortable, I'm real fucking comfortable. I'm about to light up this cigar here.
Yeah, what you smoking?
Damn it.
What you smoking on?
So it was a gift. A buddy of mine who actually got me into cigars. That's not the label. Stopped by last month and the month before, and so this is the very last one that he gave me, and it was sort of like a wedding present. So I know it was a really good one. So
it looks like you punch it. You punch it. Okay.
See, I smoke cigars myself, so
Let me put this label up here. Maybe you can help me out here, DeWayne. I can pronounce more German names. I don't know how this one.
I can't read that.
I can't even see it.
Man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Sabra Mesa.
It's okay.
Sober Mesa, and it's got like a nice little crown on the front of it. He said it was his favorite one. He said it was like, a nice high-end cigar. It's a Churchill, if you can see that.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I'm excited. It smells really light, so I'm really excited to actually try this. I was saving it to the very end, and now that I'm finally at the end because I smoked all my cigars too quickly, here we are. So when was there a better episode to go ahead and light up than this one?
There you go. Yeah.
What about you guys? You guys smoking on anything over there?
No. We're inside the house right now, and
so
we don't smoke inside the house. He got young ones. You know what I mean?
I got a little one. Hopefully, a 3-year-old doesn't interrupt this one. Sometimes she does, but she is calm and collected. Sometimes
you hear that door behind us open. Yeah, it's her.
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, but she shouldn't. We shouldn't have that problem. But no, the only thing I do I'll hit a cigar every now and then, but I like gummy edibles, bro. So that's as far as I'll go.
That's as far as I'll go.
That's all. Yeah, because
no good.
Go ahead.
I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was going to say I definitely got into the gummies recently. I can't partake in cannabis or anything, but
CBD, man.
Well, even CBD, unfortunately. The micro dose mushroom gummies are really, just to go to sleep are really, really helpful. I've been noticing. So I've been actually on the gummy train pretty recently that I'm really impressed by. I wasn't like a big gummy guy outside of the Flintstone vitamins that the parents, fed us growing up.
For the same reason, it's just such an easy way to like take whatever it is, whether it's, cannabis or mushrooms or just, it's an easy delivery. Everybody likes gummies.
Yeah,
that's right.
And yeah, that too. And it's safer on the lungs, probably not on your gut, but the VA is trying to get into the whole microdosing shrooms, man. And once they get that, I think I'm going to do my best to be like, hey, VA, hey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, remember me?
Wink, wink.
Wink, another day, by the way,
Right?
I think there was even so we just had an awesome guest on yesterday, Jimmy Fritz, who was explaining how it's probably going to be like the next year that officially gets through the government, bureaucratic process.
Yeah, they're like fast tracking it through the FDA and stuff. It's crazy.
And I was like, that is not only the best news, but that is amazing, turn of events between completely no to in the next year it's going to be full access.
It has a lot of ups to it instead of downs,
Agreed. So. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad we're all
positive than negative, I tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad we're all feeling comfortable then. We're going to go ahead and go right into it. Where do we want to start here? Who was it talking all that shit about Don't Look Up, all right? Who was it?
Don't look up. Okay, anything. Okay, I'm very picky when it comes to movies. And you guys are big movie buffs. I pay attention. You guys are in the Marvel. I don't do that. I don't do the fads. I can't stand it. So when you said Don't Look Up, the one thing I said was like, I don't cuss much, but I'm just gonna say it. Fuck Meryl Streep, man. I can't stand her.
Tell me how you really feel, bro.
Right?
Let me know. Stop holding back, please.
So I was running up, mountain today, and I was like, man, these guys are gonna ask me about that question, and I'm like, how am I gonna respond? So I was just thinking,
perfect.
Meryl Streep, man, when I see her or hear her, it doesn't get anything going, no stiff, nothing. It doesn't make me like, hey, I'm going to go and watch her. No. Last movie I've seen of her is River Wild.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, wow.
You haven't seen that one?
I don't think so, no.
Or 90s.
I'm right there with you with Meryl Streep. I'll agree. not my forte, not my cup of tea, which is why she works well in this one. She's the villain.
I just thought it was funny, Nick, when you were talking about running up the mountain. I just thought that was your motivation. You're just like, fuck Meryl Streep. Like,
4 miles. I got
And then they have a lot. Like, I hate how Netflix makes these movies and they put so many damn good actors in it, and it's trash. Adam McKay is probably the best funny directors there, but I don't like the synopsis of this movie. They're joking about what's going on, but they are the ones behind the jokes and pushing the political agenda. So that when it comes to that, I look away, especially when Meryl Streep is involved.
Not one of his favorite actresses.
It was
at
double
all.
negative.
Well,
yeah. So I'm like, dude, you know what? I did not watch it. I did not plan on watching it.
I watched it.
all right, DeWayne.
What?
All right.
I did. Hey, it's a movie, man. You know, you got to watch. You got to watch things.
It was the homework for this episode. That was the only thing we asked you to do.
I say the acting was really good. I really thought the acting was good because it hit a nerve. You know what I mean? The subject definitely hit a nerve, especially when, you know, if you haven't seen the movie, Nick, do you want me to spoil it or not?
I don't care.
Okay, because he's like, I'll never watch it anyways. Fuck Meryl Streep.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're going to go viral now for saying that.
It's okay. Hey, it's all right. It's going to help us.
It's going to help everybody, right?
It's going to help
Publicity.
it really hit a nerve, especially Jonah Hill. I think he did a wonderful job. I really wanted to reach to the TV and punch him in the mouth a lot. I mean, that's how I felt the whole way through. I was just like, oh, you little shit, man.
Yeah.
Come here so I can choke you. Lean forward, you choke yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. It just pissed me off the whole way through. I was like, okay, I get it, you know. And I was enthralled all the way through the movie. I was. They was captive. Meryl Streep, yes, she did, like I'm not a real fan of hers at all. The last movie I seen of hers was Death Becomes Her.
That's before River Wild.
There you go. that was the last one. So
that was a good movie.
Yeah, well, I liked it because
Bruce
Willis was in it. That's why.
Yeah, not because of Meryl Streep. Fuck Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Exactly, Theron. You're correct. I'm glad we agree on that one.
But I really thought, you know, Don't Look Up was.
So you overall enjoyed it, and you got what they were given, you know, as the message behind it.
Yes.
Nick, you're not even going to give it a try. You're just going to read the cover and be like, fuck that. The book's not for me.
The label didn't catch me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if I'm not supposed to judge a book by its cover, then what is the cover there for? All right?
Right.
Yes.
You got to look at it, man. You got to look at the engine. You got to look at the engine a little bit.
I might, but it might take me a couple nights just to watch it because, dude, I love movies, but when there is that one person I do not like, it takes a minute to finish.
Okay.
I mean, this guy right here will literally text me why he's in the movie theater. Bro, you gotta come watch this one. Oh, bro, off the chain, bro. This fool is off the chain, bro. I mean, why he's sitting in the movie? I said, where you going? I'm going to go to a movie and do this, this, and this. What movie is that? Is that out? You go, yeah, I had to go to Hawaii to go watch this one. I don't know. This guy, he goes just to go. He goes, I'm at the house. I'm going to go watch this movie over in.
It's a serious movie buff.
I mean, Seattle. Let's go to Seattle and watch a movie.
This guy, man.
I'm with you. I'm totally for it. I have no objection to anything DeWayne has just said, but I don't know. I'm not getting that vibe from you, Nick. If you're just not willing to look past the 25 to 30% of the movie that Meryl Streep is in, you know, it's mostly not Meryl Streep, I would say. And when she's there, you sort of like Jonah Hill, you just want to strangle her, you know.
Yeah, the whole time.
Fast forward through those parts. You probably won't use that much.
None.
It's not even. It's not even barely an inconvenience, you know.
I'm just gonna let something out. My daughters love the Mamma Mia. I tried to watch that because I love ABBA.
Fuck that movie.
Now
I love the musicals.
Where the hatred is coming from.
But I love ABBA, and I couldn't watch it with them just because of her and Amanda Seyfried or whatever. Seyfried with.
She's okay, but I'm not. No, fuck that whole musical movie bullshit. And Pierce Brosnan, no, fuck that. Fuck all of that.
ABBA's pretty decent though.
It was bad.
Hey, Pierce Brosnan ruined
007.
007.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hold on, it was the best one ever.
Oh, fuck out. What are you talking about?
I didn't know that Nick and I were going to have so many similar opinions today.
I didn't know that DeWayne and I were going to have so many. Like, I could see the show just diverting right down the middle of
this
the
episode.
screen.
You know,
screen goes blank. We're just going to wrestle, dude.
Yeah,
I listen to you guys, right? And all of a sudden, man, I know this is not like any of your guys' show. None whatsoever, man.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're about.
These are our favorite shows.
Right? They're like, do that again.
Right.
Do that again.
Right.
So I mean, as far as Don't Look Up, if we can't convince you to even sit down once for it, then I don't know.
One
I don't
Guess the
know.
episode's over. Bye.
You know what it must be? It must be Nick must be a San Francisco fan or something, because his judgment is a little skewed. I'm getting some echo here. What's going on? Do we just unplug something?
No. I'm thinking. No. Political movies. I'm very, very.
Like you said, McKay does it well enough. Like, he's talented enough to where he can do it in a funny way, and I think he does. I really do. I had some notes on here about it. And people watched it for like a lot of different reasons, but like, let's be honest. They came for the star power, right? And that's kind of one of your gripes, is you hate how they're putting all these fucking stars into one movie. I mean,
and a streaming movie, man. If that blows itself.
But see, I think that is kind of the sign of the time. I was curious what you thought about that. Is like, streaming platforms are kind of taking over, and movie theaters are kind of struggling after the whole pandemic. And this is a perfect example of the time that it came out, where streaming services were like, all right, guys, we now own this shit. And all of the actors are like, yeah, all right, streaming overlords, we'll come. We'll be your bitch on Netflix or Amazon or whatever it is. And we'll do your movie for you.
Max, everybody.
Yeah. And it's a huge hit.
Working Hermes over too. Like, we were talking about movie, and he's like, man, there's just something about the movie theater experience.
There still is. I stand by that.
Oh, it is. It's true. But not long after that, you messaged me and you're like, dude, I just watched, I forget what new movie it was. You're like, on HBO Max. It was Venom. You're like, what's Venom? I had a steak dinner and drank some wine and just kind of hung out in my living room and didn't have to deal with annoying people not letting me into the right seating area I paid for.
Yeah, that was Dune, actually. That's what that was. That's what,
But I just said, you were like, I get it. Yeah, you're like, this is kind of nice, actually.
But I'm the guy now that I'll go to the movie theater, wear a mask below my nose, and then want to get that popcorn, be like, oh, I'm eating popcorn the whole movie.
They still have you. I'm lucky enough to where my area finally opened back up and for movie theaters, and we haven't had masks. Like, I think the East Coast in certain states were just way over the masks. Are they still making you mask up over there?
Eastern Washington is, but man, you always get those Karens. Yeah, you get those Karens, man, that will want to present themselves to you anywhere.
They never present themselves to me.
and
to him, yes. To me, they won't do it.
They don't.
I will come back and
I can't imagine why, DeWayne.
I don't know why. I'm such a nice guy. Everywhere I go, I'm always smiling. Come on.
I go to Target and once in a blue moon, and you see those Karens. They try to just go behind you. I look at them and I just shake my head. Like, seriously, I shake my head. Don't try it. For real. Don't try it.
He gets that. I get, when the BLM movement just blew up, right? And got all this political and news push. I had ladies coming up to me in the store saying, I am so sorry I'm white. I'm like, what the heck? What the
Where's that guilt?
Well, I mean, there's a certain. You didn't have any part of it. You didn't do anything. Why are you apologizing for being white,
dude?
You can't fix that.
Well,
I'm sorry that you felt like that was an okay thing to do in Target. Like,
I mean, I'm just like, I look at my son. He looks at me, and I was just like,
dude, guys, like, seriously, this shit is real. Like, we party together a lot, man.
Yeah.
And there's some wild shit that comes up to him and I, man. And it is insane. It's not over exaggeration. There's some stuff that these people say. When I say these people, these white guilt females, dude, that just like grace themselves all over DeWayne. And I'm like, we're like 5 beers deep, and we're like, man, just take it. Just take it.
Get away from me.
Just take
I'm
it.
just like,
just smile and nod. It's easier.
It's nuts. It's nuts, guys.
It's so weird. I mean, weird, man.
I guess next time it happens, just ask them if they like true crime podcasts.
I mean, I'm just like, I was a victim.
As you can see, I'm very, very tender and sensitive.
I'm gonna get my own now.
I'm gonna get my own group, dude. We're gonna be a bunch of deep-voiced guys just crying in a group, going, "I can't believe this. They keep wanting me to say stuff to them like that." You know,
I would listen to that to no end.
Right? I told you. I told you he's gonna be the
man. It's so weird, man. It's now it's the media is just blowing everything out of proportion to where there's white guilt, there's black guilt, there's Asian guilt. You know. I mean, it was like, oh, don't forget about the Asians, and then people started beating on them. I'm like, what the hell's going on in this world?
Didn't mean don't forget to include them in your violence.
I know, right? And now it's just like a thing. Hey, if you see one, go punch one. You know,
right.
I can't believe the stupidity that's happening out there.
Right.
And I pull it all back to, hey, everybody had to have a trophy. Everybody had to have a trophy. No one could understand how to deal with any kind of real. I didn't win because I was not the best that day.
Well, you see, DeWayne, you're obviously very clearly brainwashed with the patriarchy of the white nationalist group that is America, and clearly you're not even really black, DeWayne. So I can't even believe that I'm hearing this come out of your mouth. So obviously,
I say it all the time. He's clearly not black.
I joke with my buddies all the time, you know, because. They're like, man, you know, you don't think, you don't talk, you don't act like anything you see on TV. Well, on TV, it's depicted as we're all supposed to be a certain way. You know, when you see somebody that can enunciate and actually speak clearly about what their thought process is, they get kind of intimidated and go, but you're supposed to say it with a slang.
Yeah, the amount of stupidity that just came out of that whole logic process there.
It's insane. It's insane, guys. Like seriously, it's nuts.
So you
they freak out when I tell them, hey, I can ride a horse too.
I think my skin just got darker than yours.
Right, mind blown. Boom. What?
So sorry to upset you.
Sorry, guys.
On the movie.
I think no. It goes right down to the core of why we even started with Don't Look Up, and there's just different opinions, man, and it was one of those perfect examples or representations of the time and a lot of the discussion that's going on in the political party and what we just covered right here, whether it's black and white or whether it's the Karens coming up to you, whatever it is, it's the fucking crazy ass world we live in, and so we're gonna drink some beers and cheers and talk about it is what we're gonna do.
I just opened my other one, a second one. So
what are you drinking?
The Lewitt.
Iron Rabbit. Iron Rabbit.
It goes down smooth. I mean, it's only 4.3.
Tell me about you guys' podcast then. Why Brews, huh?
So
you guys just big beer drinkers, huh? You're not real men, is all.
I do drink different high-end bourbons and whiskeys.
Yes.
I do have a buddy of mine that is a whiskey broker, so he'll bring it to our attention.
Very nice.
With a voice like that, DeWayne, you can't disgrace the vocals that way and not have a couple whiskeys.
This dude does it on purpance sometimes too. Just don't let him fool you.
My kids say that all the time. My daughter especially. Dad, why you got to drop your voice when you introduce yourself?
It's like, come on.
It sets a precedent. Says, hello, how are you?
All right, let me straighten my back a little bit. Okay,
nice
to meet you.
Everybody kind of snaps too when you say something to somebody with a deep voice, but they hear it.
When you hit him with the James Earl Jones, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's like, now go get me a beer.
Right.
Yes, sir. What kind would you like? You know.
Absolutely, Lord Vader. Absolutely.
Yeah. These are not the droid you're looking for.
So it's funny how you bring that up, because I was going to say the reason why I'm so far away from things like Don't Look Up is I went to college and did a bunch of stuff in poli-sci, was going to work at the House of Representatives in Indiana, this and that, was going to be a lawyer. Anything politics, I try to step away from. And being in the Army myself, I saw a lot of things. I am anti-government, kind of, you know, like seriously. And having this podcast, my away from all the BS that's going on in the world is Miles, mountains, and sometimes Brews. Every now and then I can turn off drinking, period, you know, but Miles and mountains always been a mainstay. And so for the wildest times, man, the longest time too, I go to so many places that I see the craziest shit ever, you know, and I'm not a celebrity. And I don't know if you guys heard some of the earlier episodes when they were interviewing me, but you see the things, you visit, you meet the wildest people, the craziest people, and you're like, oh my God, you see this, DeWayne? Do you hear this, man? This guy, man, just did this and that. And so I did that for years, and I'm like, man, there has to be a platform. And so I'm all like, okay, 3.5 years of in the making, the podcast, believe it or not. I was like, you know what? Fuck COVID. Sorry for the F-bomb, guys. Seriously, I do not cuss.
We do. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But
I do a lot.
See, the reason why we don't cuss that much is because my daughter, 14-year-old, she's like the production manager. She's not in. She's not in when there are certain
genres,
topics that I don't want her to expose her. So,
absolutely,
she's not here. But you know, COVID, the politics, the bullshit that's going on. I was like, you know what?
And the Karen feedback.
Correct. I was like, you know what? Let's do a podcast. And I think that 3.5 years of just slowly building up to it, you know, even telling my wife, like, she's like, you're going to get a podcast? You're going to get a podcast? She, you know, I love her to death. Been together for 15 years. But she's the biggest hater of them all. And so she's like, you're going to start a podcast? I'm like, yeah. And I did. And man, we're like 34 tomorrow, 34 episodes.
2,500 downloads.
More than that.
Well, yeah, I get more than that.
So I mean, you guys
know the struggles to get there, dude. And I know once you know, after the first 5, you know, and I know the struggle to get past, you know, pressing record half the time, and
correct,
and staying consistent, and then going back through and editing. We know the struggle.
Started out with the struggle with having a hater wife.
Right.
She'll ask me. She'll be like, "Oh, well, what can I do to support the podcast more?" And I'm like, "Well, you could listen to an episode. Everyone, I listen to talk all the time. Forget that."
My wife doesn't listen either. She does. She won't listen to our podcast at all.
But you know, she doesn't mind the beers that come involved.
Right.
I have got her into a beer connoisseur, but she just recently enjoyed the free coffee that we ended up getting the other day. So she's like, coffee. So
well, because Brews are Brews, you know. I brew coffee, brew
right?
Breeze, right? You know, come on, either way. We're in both sides. We want to.
See, that's when the free stuff starts rolling in. You're like, yeah. Now, how do you feel about the
podcast,
babe?
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, is it nice? Is it nice to have that now? Well, I guess.
Yeah.
But can you get this kind next time?
Right. So yeah, some changes, some speed bumps, you know, but being in the game, you guys been with me since I started. You guys sought me out, and then it's been off and on ever since. So it's pretty cool. And just to know how many people we've inspired. I mean, I get texts, I get you know, people in my DMs, you know, not females, but you know, people saying, dude, you're an inspiration. I did a, you know, personal best in a 5-miler, you know, today, and I appreciate you. Thank you for, you know, putting that stuff out there. So I just wanted to get away from it all. That's why I did the podcast. And then people bring me in just by, you know, saying, wow, you can be new. You can be 40 something years old like myself and start hunting, you know.
Sure.
It's uplifting, man. And I'm glad I'm in the game. And
yeah, the positivity for podcasting for sure, right? Yeah, that is a huge thing. Yeah.
And that's why, you know, Miles, Mountains, and Brews, man. I live probably 6 months out of the year, maybe more, depending on year. In the winter, Washington, you know, Theron, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm outside. I live in my truck. I live in my cars, you know, and I'll leave 2:00 in the morning, get back 2:00 in the afternoon, and be dead asleep, tired. But I made it home, and my wife's okay with it.
Yep.
Yay!
Right?
Right? That's the gold standard.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's this podcast has changed my life. So
I love it.
Absolutely. I can't praise enough, man, because like that is exactly what I feel like people gravitate towards. It's like that honesty and that just that pure like, hey, this is me, this is what I'm about, and this is why I'm about it, and that's what attracted me and Theron immediately was like. Well, I feel like Theron, you immediately were like, hey, he's all about Washington, he's all about breweries, he's definitely gonna be our kind of a guy. And
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
As we keep going on and keep listening, it's that I love one thing about podcasts, along with the positivity, I love progression. I love seeing like, when you have that nerves that you have in the beginning, you're like, I'm whatever age I'm at, I'm starting a new, thing. I'm just jumping into the podcast. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. And then you see, because you picked up the mojo pretty quickly. I feel like, Nick, you were like episode 10. You were like, all right, so this is what we're doing. This is what we're drinking on. This is where we're going. You're like, I got this figured out.
Found a real comfortable flow.
Yeah. I appreciate that because, man, like I was in college. I did radio, and I didn't when everything like Adam Carolla. I was a huge Adam Carolla fan when he was in radio. It was early 2000, and then he made the jump to podcast. I was like, man, forget podcasts. I'm done. Everybody's jumping on podcast world. I'm like, okay, radio is done.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I thought the same thing.
After a while, I'm like, man, Rogan's spitting truth. Rogan's this, Rogan's that. And I'm like, God damn, man. All right, I'm back. I'm back. And I'm like, okay, podcast, let me give it a try. And, it's I referenced Rogan because, dude, he opened the door back.
Oh, absolutely. He's the biggest fucking name in entertainment that has ever probably been the next, 2
especially
decades.
In podcasting. Like, I wonder how many podcasts, like, were started because of Joe Rogan's influence. Like, hundreds. Probably thousands. Like,
I would say how many? I think what is it? 500,000 right now that we're up to, or
excuse me,
500 million. Not million,
I don't know.
half
I'm not
a billion
podcasts
podcasts out there.
Like 2 episodes long, and then they get bored and give up on it.
I'll agree. So anybody who makes it past
5 to 7, 5 to 10 is the range.
Yeah,
people step off.
I think ours that I had in my head, I was like, if we can make it a 50, I think we're gonna be doing okay. And we approached it and passed it so fucking fast that I was like. Yeah, this is a thing. This is
115, 116. This one's 116.
This one is 118, guys. DeWayne and Nick on 118. You guys, that's the thing. It comes
fast.
Oh yeah, we try, but it's also about again how positive and amazing and easy it's coming. Like Theron and I have talked about this many times. Like I have a lot of creative endeavors that I try to that I play with and I'm really passionate about. But podcasting, as soon as I got into it, it was just so natural, so easy. You can easily just sit down, as we have done a million times. And like you said, Nick, when you travel around, you meet new people, you have new experiences. You know how easy it is to just crack open a cold one and laugh with someone new.
Chop it up, dude.
That is the best thing ever. We've never met the four of us. We've gone back and forth on social media. A little. Briefly, a little shit talking here and there about some twisted tea and whatnot. No big deal.
That's me, guys. That's me as he's sipping on twisted tea. But I also said, if you guys get a pallet of that, please share. Just I-90, I will be glad to meet you halfway.
Because you guys are so close, it'd be awesome. To meet up and do an episode at some time. Like, I'd love to guest on your guys' show, like in person. That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be.
Keep the business off the show. God damn it, man.
I'm definitely. I'm wary of West Side, man, Washington. But yeah,
we're just wet. That's the only. It's the difference.
Yeah, not quite as cold.
I don't mind that. It's
make
the
sure to
crazy
bring everything out.
Right.
Crazy lunatics and the aggressive panhandling that I can't take, man.
That's true. Yeah, Seattle has become something fucking else.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed since I was there last too. But it is, if you like mountains, man, there's plenty of beautiful, like mud hikes and things you can do, especially if you
mud hikes.
So,
mud hikes. Yes.
So I'm not gonna knock. Well, I kind of am. So when it comes to Washington, I don't do too much of Washington Mountains just because the Seattleites. There's something about them, man. Like there's something about them that they think that they own the trail. They have this snobby nose, like this sense of like
they know you from the east side.
I'm on the trail, bow down, that kind of thing. Like hear me roar kind of thing. And you can tell the difference from Washingtonians, especially Seattleites, anything around, I don't know where you live, Theron, but we call it the tree line. Ellensburg is the tree line, right? anything over there, it's a whole different world. But like you can tell, I would rather go, and I spend a lot of time outside. I would rather hang out with Californians because, dude, they got their shit together. Oregon, they got their shit together. But, dude, Washington, man, there's something about when people from Seattle come over, you're like, damn, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, first of all of those people moved to Seattle from California. So I'm going to have to check you on that one.
Whoa. I did not move from California to Seattle. I moved to the east side, bro.
Well, that's because you're one of the smart ones. But
There you go.
the snobby ones. No, I live off Highway 12, just on like the other side of the pass from where Yakima's at.
Hackwood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
You live in Lewis County area, huh?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Now I'm gonna have podcast fans coming to my house.
Right? There you go. It's over with.
I said Lewis County. That's a big county, man.
But I've seen the same thing. I go snowboarding a lot, and like on the resorts, you see the same thing. There's like a lot of people up there who are like, "Look, you should worship me because I managed to get up here and am doing this." And it's like, look, we all are here doing the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
man. It's different. It's different.
But like, especially like you said, you could see them from like a mile away. Like it's
Right.
even, when they're coming.
Yes.
Yep. And they're all pro and they're all pro nature, but they're the ones to be the first ones not to clean up after their dogs or clean after their shit when they go off on the side of the trail, man.
It's bio, man. We're just
Yeah,
recycling, man.
bro.
Come on, it's back to the earth, man. His processed dog food goes back into the earth, man.
There's so much hypocrisy, man. I stay away from it. So when that tree line hits, I'm like, damn it. All right, just stick with my guns. I'm going A to B and I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I always ask those people when they do not pick up after their dog. I always ask them, "Oh, so you feed your dog natural stuff then, right? Like real meat, and real meat, because they're not vegetarians."
No, that's a choice, man. My dog loves vegetables, man.
Yes.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, sure the will.
I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of the vegetarian lion. That they're like, yeah, no, look, we made it so he's vegan now, and he looks miserable. He's just skinny and his hair's falling. Like it's clearly not natural for that animal to be living like that at all.
Right?
And they're like, oh no, torturing it basically just so they could be like, look, this is the way you should live.
But to them,
even nature, man, is vegan.
But to them, that's right. So I mean, dude, we can keep going and going. So guys, I've noticed you guys change your genre. Is that true? You guys changed your genre, man. You guys are killing it, though. I just want you to know that.
So I don't know what. So what do you mean by change your genre? Because I have two answers to that. To that statement.
You guys,
Here we go.
Going more into the political government side. I've noticed that.
I think we've just been frustrated. I personally, I've just been frustrated recently, and I can't help but spew off at the mouth sometimes.
Right?
And because I get to edit and direct most of these, that's what ends up in the show.
Right? There's a unique perspective.
No, this is getting cut. This is getting cut.
I mean, you're going to have a complaint for the company that you work for.
Yeah.
I complain about them all the time because, they're. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly, DeWayne. It's like I have, especially firsthand experience. Now, again, I am the first one to say I fucking love my country. I will, as I have, volunteer to lay down my life to defend and protect everybody in my country. I love it. Doesn't mean everybody in my country is a intelligent, fun person to hang out with that I want to share a mountain and a brew with. And it certainly doesn't mean that every boss I've ever had their shit together when they were telling me to do something,
man,
completely wrong and backwards. So because I have that firsthand experience, I'm going to fucking say it, and that's again where the anonymity of the podcast comes from, is because I want a space for myself and any of my brothers and sisters to be able to fucking say that. Gotcha. So if that gets a little political sometimes because our politics today are getting a little dumb, and there's words we can't say, there's
in the background right now. I just think that we need some. Yes, going to text right now. Let's go to chat. Preach on, brother. Preach on. I love it. I love it.
So if we've got a little political, no apologies are going to be found here.
I noticed that. I noticed it though. I noticed though, but that's all. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying, man, because it's difficult for us. We always end up talking about COVID because damn, it destroys everything. It's like I'm not going to go on there.
It keeps interceding on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We thought a year plus ago we're not going to talk about COVID
for 2 weeks, guys. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and we're we're done talking about COVID. We're not going to talk about COVID anymore.
And it always comes back. And it comes back every time.
It does.
New ways. That Decepticons just will
not die. Like I support you guys. You know that. You guys saw my list.
Talk about
Spotify.
Love, man.
We appreciate the love.
Seriously, talk about from the bottom of our hearts, love, man.
So this better be kept on there. But
hey, no threat, though.
Your listenership might just drop considerably.
and honestly, I don't listen to too many podcasts, man. Like seriously, it's every now and then it's Rogan when he's spitting truth. You guys, and maybe this that. In between, there's this one guy that does nothing but 80s movies, man. It's pretty legit. The guy's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Pretty legit.
Yeah,
might want to check it out.
I'll start a podcast. What's up?
I was just saying that's a solid 80s movies specifically is like there's so much to talk about.
I could do a whole podcast on Cronenberg alone, man. Just sit there with fucking Carpenter and Cronenberg's.
So if it's not you guys, it's trying to perfect my craft.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say in regards to our genre, overarchingly, I don't really think we have one. I would call us a talk show, I guess, more than anything.
True.
But a lot of it is just we have a lot of opinions, man, and this is our platform to get them out there. And so whether it's that we're angry about politics, or like you were saying last night, we were talking to Jimmy Fritz about psychedelics. Just wherever the mood takes us for the evening. And it's been liberating to have that freedom and still be gaining success.
Who does the counseling? Is it Hermes that has his wife on here?
Yeah. That's our spin-off series we started.
Man, she's got a mouth on her, man.
Yeah, she does, and I love her for it.
Who's she married to? Come on, man. Come on.
Absolutely, she has to have a mouth on her.
I was listening to that. I was like, damn, dude, she says more cuss words than Hermes, man.
She is a sailor through
take
and
up
through.
The damn trash, Hermes, now.
She is a sailor through and through. That's why it has worked the way it has, and why I've been lucky enough to nab her up before anybody else. Because anybody, I've had many relationships in the past, and nobody can stand me longer than a couple months. So the fact that she can and has put up with my shit for as long as she has, I'm blessed to be able to put up with hers. Honestly.
Well, what you got there, man, is good, dude. Because I've listened to all of them, and they're pretty decent. They're pretty decent, man. And is she a therapist?
No,
counselor.
We're both corpsmen. We can't specify as to where the specifics of corpsmen. But yeah, we're both in the medical field.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And fuck. Now I totally lost my train of thought, Theron. I was gonna piggyback off of Theron. What were you saying, Theron, for a second there?
Just how
liberating. Genre.
Yeah,
that was the other.
Nice that we don't fit into any one box, but we're still able to be, do what we want to do.
That was the second half of the answer I was going to give you, Nick, is that if anybody who is really paying attention, which is probably only me because I deal with the SEO all the time, is I always, now that it's been, we're year 2 of the 5-year plan, as I always tell Theron. I'm like, this is the second half of this. Now we're
5-year plan for world domination.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give it away. Don't give the secrets away. All right. But I'm always playing with the numbers. And so when it comes to genre, for example, if you see when I first started the podcast, on all the categories is listed as comedy because I didn't know what else to put it. And then I switched it to government, and then I switched it to society and culture, and then I switched it. And so I've played with it over the last year and a half plus.
Correct.
And just to see where what niche is actually responding to what. And as soon as and what's funny about it, and to go to Theron's point, what's funny about it is it doesn't seem to really matter. Like all of them seem to be responsive, whether we're on the comedy genre, whether on the society and culture, whether on the arts. It all seems to be, and I think that's because, like Theron said, we don't really have a niche that we're catering to or talking to or trying to be. We're just sort of talking and sort of, like you said, free to have psychedelics on, and then have a talk about brews, and then have a talk about the military, and then have a talk about mental health. It doesn't really matter, and I do think that's, again, why I like yours so much, that candidness, that openness, of just sitting down, discussing, drinking, laughing. Hopefully, I guess that's the biggest one, is I like to laugh. I like to, in today's crazy world.
It's horrible.
You seem like it, DeWayne. That's why I knew I wasn't gonna like you. Damn it!
Right. I'm always just straightforward, to the point. Let's get this over with.
Right.
No horse around, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
And for
me, you always got these white women apologizing.
Right. For me, that I need that in my life, and like Theron knows, like I can easily lock myself in a room and get real dark real fast and not to see the light of day, and I won't even realize it. So having that balance and having that, especially Theron, like pulling me back. He's like, all right, we're done with this conversation. Let's go on. Let's move on to something a little, I personally need that. And I found, like you said, huge benefit and positivity in the podcast community, amazing people,
totally.
So like, it's a no-brainer. Why would we stop? Why would anybody stop doing podcasts? And if it's what you're into and you can feel it coming naturally like this, like why would you stop?
Well, I give you guys a lot of credit just because you guys sought me out and been
You're
there.
a cool dude, and you're doing a really good
so
job. That's all I want to say.
Appreciate it.
Seriously,
Seriously,
this has been like a year in the scheduling now, right? Trying to make this episode happen.
half a year. I've been in the game since August 21st. I had 3 weeks off due to other things, but yes.
I want that clip as the video clip because his face is priceless. Nick's face was like, all right, guys.
Half a year. Hold up.
I'm very animated, and I don't know if you guys catch on. Like, I can't sit still because of
come on,
the
son.
jab that the military is
is
giving me. Like, we can go on, man. We can go on. Like, I am anti-COVID vaccine because the last vaccine that the government told me to take did me in. I mean, we can go there too, so.
Well, we're not stopping you. What?
Yeah. So I'm not anti-vax, but
this is why you're not on Twitter. That's what this. You answered the other question. I got it now.
Boom.
You're gonna ask.
Boom.
No, the censorship, man, it's bad enough. And I'll tell you this: Facebook is censoring more than anything, and for them to, I'm not on Facebook much. I'm more on Instagram.
Right.
So the reason why
Facebook owns them.
Correct, but it's more leniency. There's something in the algorithm that you can say that they don't pick up on, like Facebook. I don't get it, but I can say certain shit and it doesn't pick up. But the moment I say, Theron, you ever been to Smith Rock?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, it's down 97 by Terrebonne, in Terrebonne, Oregon. Okay. Anyways, I'm part of a lot of groups, Pacific Northwest, hiking, climbing, mountaineering groups, right? And a lot of the groups, they don't put down like, hey, I'm this way, this place, because, it's against the rules, period. You can't tell people where you're at, because it's a gold
mine. Get blown out. Yeah.
Correct. So they were taking pictures of Smith Rock, and I'm like, oh, I know that rock. That's Monkey Face. Man, I got banned for a whole month just by saying Monkey Face. They said that I wasn't against the rules. It was just I was bullying and racist.
So I was gonna say like it was some kind of slur.
Clearly, Nick.
And so
what's wrong
go ahead.
with you?
I know a guy who got like a same thing, like a 30-day ban on Facebook because he was saying that his own car, like he commented on a picture of his car talking about how it was like a shitbox and how it's terrible, just like joking around. And they're like, yeah, you're 30-day ban for bullying.
Yeah.
Like, I was bullying myself.
I tried to, put my 2 cents into it. And they said, no, it doesn't matter. This is bullying. It goes against guidelines. I was like, man, fuck you. And that was my response. I was like, man, fuck you. So ever since then, I stay away from social media as much as I can in my personal world.
Absolutely.
Twitter, I don't want somebody to tell me what I can and cannot say, and so Twitter is really bad. Facebook's probably worse.
This coming from the guy that won't let me cuss every time I want to.
The hypocrisy.
I know, right?
Yes, true, but
double standard of it all.
Facebook, Twitter, and Nick. Those are the big 3.
Big 3 for me, Geez, I see him running down a hill. I'm going to trip him.
Well, see, I love that you bring it up, Nick, about like censorship and stuff, especially on Twitter, because I couldn't agree more that there are some crazy, arbitrary, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, it is just, there's no sense or rhyme or reason other than they don't like what it's what they don't like, and yeah, exactly. And that's in a way, as I've said previously, is if it's a private thing, if it's a private company, just like Nick and your show, if it's your show, it's your creation, it's your baby, it's literally your daughter, you have a way more, right to say and not say things and have a little more governance over that. Yeah. Same as I would have argued, and I say would have argued for any of these companies previously. But then you see that they're trying to exist in all of these other spaces that isn't private, and they're trying to monopolize all these other spaces that aren't, were not what they initially set out to be. Let's take Twitter, for example, right? Twitter was just set up as like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this cool thing at, whatever. And everybody, thought that was cool enough to continue growing it to the giant corporation that it is now. And if that's the evolution it takes, then you have to either be one or the other. You can't play this arbitrary game of we're still private and we've talked
about that so many times about like just the differences between platform and publisher. And that they act like they're a platform, but then they act like a publisher in the way that they get to control what's on their site and what people can see and what is even accessible like firsthand using the algorithms. And that it's a slippery slope because like, sure, you don't want something that's obviously hateful. Like, if I tweet a picture of Hitler and I'm like, great fucking dude, that looks bad. I get it. But if you remove that tweet, then you now have an obligation to remove any tweet that you think makes you look bad. Because if not, you're de facto abiding by that opinion by not removing it if you remove somebody else's. And so, it gets to this point where now they're, like you said, it's such an insane thing where they're taking shit out of context, banning people for no reason because they're worried about having something on their platform that might make it look like they condone a thing that's not PC or whatever. And that's fine. If they want to do that, that's completely up to them. They just are a publisher now and should fall under the rules and regulations that publishers have to follow.
If you guys look at Monkey Face and Smith Rock, you can see so many white people climbing that. I'm just saying. I mean, dude.
He almost spit out his tea.
I'm just saying. That's the most iconic rock there. And I couldn't say that. So
there's so many comments after saying that, man.
It is a good thing we're not live streaming right now.
Yeah, I did not know where you were going.
So my question to you is with your Twitter, right? With the Twitter, do you guys get a lot of traffic on Twitter with podcasts only, not personal podcasts?
So yes, we do. And I think it's to the same, or because of the same reason that you have, Nick, is I from way back decided no to the personal social media. I was like, I don't understand. I don't get it. It's not for me. Cool. But I do recognize, as we talked about, the need for social interaction and connection that social media does provide. And so doing that with the podcast has been fruitful. Now with Twitter, I am shocked, honestly, that I haven't been banned yet, or that our Twitter handle hasn't been banned yet, because some of the stuff that I have, and it is in
Lord knows we're trying.
The Lord, I am a bit of a troll at times. I will be the first to admit that. I love to laugh and I love to fuck around, and if you're too sensitive, then I'll leave you alone. Fuck off. You're not for me. We're not going to be friends. Cool. Have at it. Do you? So I think maybe that's how we've evaded it. But when it comes to traffic that we've generated on Twitter, it has been mostly, paradoxically, the positive side of Twitter. Okay. Because there's so much of it out there, and that's the thing, that if we're targeting a specific agenda, aka the positivity aspect of social media, that's why we're there. That's why we're connecting for the podcast. It's there. It's plenty to be found. Now Facebook, I've just have I dropped off of Facebook for multiple reasons, mainly just because it doesn't have the traffic. It's a bunch of old people arguing most of the time about, and sharing.
Yeah, I would say Facebook is where the least of our traffic is coming from at this point. And that's, I do most of the social media, but I let Hermes handle Twitter because I personally find it to just be a toxic cesspool that I don't understand how it works at all. So I just let him do it, and so we get to see success through that end. And then I make sure that our Facebook and Instagram and everything else, Discord servers and stuff, are looking spiffy. But I would say we probably literally get more traffic through Discord than we do Facebook.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
But that also another thing that kind of, I don't know if we even touched on previously, is the differences in social media. The instantaneous nature of Twitter is great for podcasts and generating, interest and listens and clicks and all of that, because it's an instantaneous platform. Whereas Instagram, I have always used more I don't, as Theron says, he doesn't get Twitter. I don't really get Instagram that well. I, for whatever reason, I have capped my own personal Instagram, which is all my artwork is capped. It cannot break 4K for some reason. I just can't do it. And it's because I feel like I use it more of a portfolio. I just stick it there.
Need to pay money.
After they did that, I did see a noticeable decline when they started to make people pay. But honestly, I feel like it is just the differences in social media and what jives with who. Instagram, very portfolio based. I stick it up there. It'll be there if anybody wants to check it out later. There's links. There's crap. There's there. Whatever. Whereas to Twitter, I can go on right now and have almost, very short of face-to-face interaction with someone in Japan. I could do whatever I want. And that's awesome that people, I think, recognize and gravitate towards Twitter. So when it comes to podcasts, as soon as we're done with this and I create a clip of it, I post it out there. I'm like, hey guys, we just talked to DeWayne and Nick. DeWayne and Nick are, from this podcast, and they're doing this, and I can attach a clip here and I can attach a clip here, and then I can put it in that social circle and this social circle, and immediately you get this, slew of traffic of people that, are interacting and gifting and commenting and doing all this shit, and it's boom, 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 boom. Whereas, Facebook.
Yeah, it's crazy. I get the notifications. My phone is just constantly going off from Twitter, but I don't know what any of it means. It's like hieroglyphics are showing up on my phone.
The one thing about Twitter too, man, they get the biggest assholes with the that think they have a voice, and they rock that voice. And it's like they don't even make sense. And so that's another reason why I stay away from Twitter. But Facebook, have you guys I know this is probably a business side, but have you guys put your podcast on Facebook?
I saw the email for it, and I honestly was like, I don't know that I will.
Think about it, because we get a lot of traffic, man. Those old people.
We have our page, and I'm in groups for podcasts and to distribute it. But I haven't actually taken that email and actually used it as another distributor yet.
Check it out, man. People love that Facebook. If it's there, conveniently there, Facebook numbers are almost up there, top 3, top 4 tops, man. Seriously. So think about it.
I'm all for that.
Think about society in a whole.
Think about it, man. I was a little hesitant, but damn, it's helped out.
Society
I'm all for it,
yeah. Society in a whole, though, is they want convenience. They want it now.
And
you know,
those old,
just click done.
The old fogies, all they have to do is just click on it, and then there it is.
Yeah,
I think our average listenership is like 18 to 30. So,
Damn,
you know, it's pretty young. So I don't know how many of them are on.
I don't know
Facebook,
what boomers think about our opinions.
Yeah, because I think the average age of Facebook is sitting somewhere between like 45 and 65. It might be shifted a little bit. I think that is. I'm not calling you out, Nick. I'm not. I'm really not.
I'm 40, man. I'm 40.
I'm not.
It was only 6 months.
But a majority of like our and on the business side of things. Sorry, guys, this is what we're talking about. We'll
no, you're good. You're good. I'm glad we're having this conversation, man. It's like shit. We're having like, beers, drinking. You need to fill up, by the way. I see that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I've been sipping on this.
Oh shit.
Sipping on scissor.
Okay.
Scissor. No,
that
I
studio
think
magic, you know.
Just
right?
like
hitting over here and up here.
Right.
Just like we're talking about the differences between social medias, I think it is worth like noting what who's on which social media. Like TikTok, for example. Everybody and their mother wants us on TikTok, and I don't want to be on TikTok. I really don't.
No.
and when it comes
so many reasons.
So many reasons. And when it comes to numbers, just solely numbers, I mean, obviously we're preaching to the choir with this, and I'm not saying I'm not like that, hippie, what's not hipster kind of a guy that's like, well, I'm against the fucking system.
One of those hippiesters.
Hipsters are part of the system. I don't know.
Whatever. You know the type I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be part of the mainstream, so therefore I'm not gonna be. No, it's like we do care about numbers because, getting to the most people out there and spreading the most positivity and talking to the most interesting and varied people is what we're about. So that is one aspect of it. But at the end of the day, specifically when it comes to like TikTok, there are just a much larger list of why I'm not going to be on it than there are, and the only one that is on there or the only reason that I can point to that why we would be on there is because there's just so much traffic and so much interest and whatnot that it's like, how do I weigh that? I weigh it pretty easily. It's like I don't really need the 20. I think the average is 23 to 14 to or 12. I think 12 to 22. I don't need that demographic really. And what we're spitting, most of the time when we're talking about, complex issues of mental health and politics. And to be perfectly honest, I don't need to cater and make a 3 to 30 second video.
But
TikTok is fun. Okay, go for it, Dwayne.
Well, here's the if you talk to that platform, right, the 12 to 23-year-olds, you think they're going to go start looking at their parents a little bit different?
I hope not.
Hey,
I'm not trying to
say.
I think they will, but then I think their parents are going to be calling up the Scuttlebutt Podcast and being like, "What ideas are you putting in my kid's head?"
We already have enough of those Karens calling us up.
But you gotta love those Karens, man. You embrace them. You tell them, "I love you so much. Go to sleep."
Well, they don't apologize to us, DeWayne. Yeah,
absolutely. Damn it. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, just like when Nick was talking about Twitter, it's like, how do you, it's a cesspool or it's this. It's like, yeah, it absolutely is. But it's how you deal with it. Personally, being kind of a troll.
Right. I'm the same way. I'm the same way, but I stopped that after January 6th, man. Like, seriously, I don't know.
Your resolution for this year?
I got a lot of hate, man, because I went to DC, man. I went to DC during that time.
Yeah.
I'm from that
around the 6th you went?
Yeah.
He was there.
I was there. I was there. And I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of hate from like what I thought I was like close friends, even people who don't even know me, man. So since then, I'm a little weary on social media. That's why it's mostly like personal. I only do mountains, and then on the podcast, I'm all like, okay, Scuttlebutt versus the crew, that kind of thing. But other than that, man, I try to stay away from all of it. But dude, TikTok, all right, since we're on this, TikTok is a great place, man, because of the reels. The reels, you get a lot of traffic for the reels. If you can be creative on that.
So that's the thing. And that's what I was going to say. To me, that's what I see the biggest reason that it's hard for us to be on TikTok is everyone who listens to our podcast regularly. I'm sure you guys both know we ramble a lot.
Correct.
We tend to go on tangents. It's damn near impossible to take any video that we have and condense it into 3 minutes without making a complete separate, like, we would have to script it.
Yeah.
I do a lot of traveling TikTok or reels, and that really shows, man. It's amazing what people actually look at, man. It's nuts.
I know a guy, like, I used to buy weed from him, and now he has like damn near 1 million followers on TikTok because of his like weight loss journey or whatever. And so like it's happened to people that I know that are blowing up and are like actively getting brand deals and stuff. So I see it, but there's just I don't know, like, just not only do I feel like it's just a lot of extra work for us, but then there's like the whole China thing.
China.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about TikTok, right? You can pick and choose who you listen to or what you watch, right? It's almost one step closer to OnlyFans. That's why I like it. Okay, I'm just gonna be.
You're all about the only.
We already have our OnlyFans. What are you talking about? I was gonna
say, yeah.
I'm all about that racy, like, okay, you know, one step closer, but I'm not paying for it. But then, but then, get this, guys.
I thought you were on Instagram, bro.
Yeah, this the 12-year-old platform. Like,
but you know what's the funniest thing? You know when the government is messing up when you got brothers, right?
Cracking jokes,
cracking jokes, political jokes, and COVID jokes, man. You know when they joke about the Omarion. Have you guys seen their Omarion variant?
God damn.
That shit is funny. Check that out. You know the government's messing up when
when brothers right here. Guys are forward.
I'm just saying, guys. It gets me going, man. If you guys want a good laugh, people have mastered their craft on TikTok. It's definitely worth just being a spectator. That's all I'm saying, guys.
And absolutely, my wife is on it. I hear you guys. More power to you, to anybody on it. I'm not sure. Like Theron said, I don't know if my time.
I just feel like all the funniest stuff filters through. So like all the most hilarious stuff I see on YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and stuff anyway. I'll see FOMO. Stuff and I see a little thing and I'm like, oh, that came from TikTok, but I don't have to watch it on TikTok.
Our FOMO has never been a thing for Theron and I. We've never been in the crowd of like, well, do we have to be right there when it happens, the second it happens?
That's not how trendsetters move.
Nah.
Well, you guys could just, have a TikTok to where every time you're walking out of the bathroom going, that just happened. That's all it is. You turning off the light and walking out going, that just happened.
Yeah. You guys are you guys working for a foreign government? Like, what is this? What is this? The China propaganda show? Like, what? Mountains in China?
We're trying to dumb down society.
So true. So, hey, I got a question, and I just was wondering if you can enlighten me a little bit. That one
Jason Sheftel?
Yes, that was quite unique, but the title and what you guys were talking about was kind of not taboo, but I'm like, okay, are they trying to say that we want to be like China or what?
I definitely don't think we had personally, I don't think we were trying to emulate wanting to be like China, and I don't think Jason swayed that way either, but I also don't think he swayed. I mean, if that's how it came off, I don't know.
I mean, I love that there was that little bit of confusion there, honestly.
Yeah. There were like, because there
was for us when we first we were in the pre-show waiting for Jason to show up, and we were like, yeah, so we're talking about China today. Are we pro-China? Are we anti-China? Like, what are we about to be talking about? And so
right.
It's always nice to talk to somebody from like a grounded perspective.
The dude knew his shit. He's definitely a scholar, man, and that's cool. One thing that he did not mention though was the one child policy that went for almost two generations.
We briefly actually, I don't know if it was in the main show or in the taps, but we did actually cover One Child and the brutality of its enforcement and everything. We did actually, so it must have been in taps, which is the other half of the show that we put into.
That's our Patreon exclusive after show.
Gotcha. Yeah,
we'll just plug that real quick. Only $5 a month.
There you go.
which we're about to be actually rolling into here because we're hitting that pumpkin stage. So this is actually a great segue to go into taps because we can get a little it's not like we can't get spicy on the main show, but we definitely get spicy in the after party show. We definitely pour a couple more drinks, and we definitely, cut down all this Chinese propaganda that you guys are trying to sell to us. All right. So,
I'm not trying to sell. I'm just saying, you want entertainment, you want some good laughs, some good ideas, TikTok, man. But other than that,
you want some good vittles.
Yeah.
You want some entertainment? You want some good laughs? You want a Chinese boot on your neck?
Right. Right. Yeah. But whenever you guys go to taps, just let me know. But like seriously, I want to talk about that one child policy, man, because that's.
Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it. Theron, you got your final segment, man.
I do. Yeah. So we have one segment that we love to close out our shows with guests, particularly. It's Theron's Book Nook, where we just ask you guys if there's any book at all, just one title that you think someone should read. If it's the only book that they ever pick up and read, what should that book be?
Man,
I'm not a big book reader, man. I read technical books for my craft. That's about it right there. You know what I mean?
Well, is there a particularly important one?
I was gonna say I'm no stranger to learning.
This guy's Rain Man.
I read more HVAC books because that's my craft. I'm more into how things work and why. But that money makeover was a big deal in my life to get us back up to where we needed to be when it came to spending money and why we are spending money on stupid stuff. I read that one. That moved us right into the now of us not worrying about what the next step is for us financially wise.
So you said one more time on the title, DeWayne?
The Money Makeover by Ramsey.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did. That was it's a great book to read. Seriously, it got me to think about what I was really spending money on.
Not on the podcast, guys.
No.
Guys, it's less. I'm just saying, take that cup of coffee. You love Starbucks. Just make it at home. Spend the $5 on the Scuttlebutt.
I don't go to coffee.
You get a much better value.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I am opposite. I love reading books. That's why when it comes to movies, very, very iffy. But books are always better than the movie. There's two books. Kind of cliche, but dude, it changes my world every time I read it, and it changes kids' worlds. I work with at-risk youth. I'm a therapist myself, a counselor, right? And Into the Wild, I would definitely suggest anyone to read that book, not watch the movie, read the book. Sean Penn does do a great job at doing, what the book did and everything else. Sean Penn is a great director. His views, not so much. But dude, he shined a lot of light on that movie. But the one book that really, really stands out, I don't know if you guys know about the Boys in the Boat. Daniel James Brown, Boys in the Boat, is about the 1936 Olympics, the rower team. Well, he has one of the best storytelling I guess personas that are out there, but he makes this book, or he wrote this book, The Indifferent Stars Above. It's the harrowing saga of the Donner Party. It tells you where they've messed up. Really good. That changes your world, but the
Gives
way
you a couple of recipes,
yeah. And it does go into that. It does go into that. I went to the museum in Truckee, California, and everything else, the Donner Party Museum, and it's said that it is stated that they did do that, but then they also don't go too far into it, so it's like almost a myth. It's like a myth, a legend. But there's a guy that they talk about that opens a restaurant afterwards in Sacramento. But So yeah, he got blacklisted. But yeah, man, it's a crazy story. It's worthwhile. You can tell where they messed up. And me going to Lake Tahoe every year and knowing the lay of the land and them, Oregon trailing that shit, it's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know how they managed that, or
your wagon broke and you died of dysentery.
Right.
All I know is that book just states everything from A to Z on where they messed up, and it makes your mind just like, holy shit, why would somebody do it? They had the cheapest car salesman sell that to them, and read that book, man. It's really good.
Okay, absolutely.
Hopefully all that made sense, but man, that book is spot on.
But I got to disagree with Nick on the part where a book is better than a movie. Goonies. I enjoyed the movie more than the book.
It's a 60-40 for me. I love me a good movie. Absolutely love me a good movie. And I can point to a couple where I loved it as much or more than the book. But I'm going to have to 60% on.
I would say rarely that happens, though. Mostly I agree the book is better than the movie.
Okay.
The book.
What about sequels?
Couples counseling.
Okay,
yeah, right.
Sequels are that's just people want money. Like,
so somebody had a different definition of tart. I heard that, and I mentioned tart because it's more old fashioned and it's more appropriate. And since we're in books, that Reese Witherspoon movie, Wild, right? That book explains how much of a tart she was. And compared to the movie they made it look like she was just like a legend, outdoors legend. But no, in reality, dude, she cheated on her husband. She did a lot of cocaine and meth. And
doesn't make you a
legend.
Well, cocaine and meth doesn't make you a tart. It just makes you a freaking drug.
Check it out, but dude, you guys had me rolling when you guys were explaining your version of tart. Tart
I did
is
not
an
know.
old-fashioned whore.
I did not know. I was not privy to this information. It was not defined in my vocabulary.
That shit's funny, dude. That shit's funny. So you had me laughing, bro.
Well,
keep it up.
Yeah,
you have to understand Hermes only landed recently, so
exactly.
He's not familiar with those old-timey terms.
Old-timey terms, yeah.
Anything after the 90s, like that's all I have to base off of. So forgive me.
I do bring up a lot of old-timer stuff on the podcast, and these guys make fun of me, so it's okay.
Yeah, this is the old guy.
Oh, I'm making fun of you through the headphones. Don't you worry, Nick. I'm with him.
I'm with him. 100%. Got your back, bro.
Well, we've had a fantastic. We're not going to cut this short, but we do have to wrap into the after party show so that all our patrons can get their money's worth. So we always obviously hand it over to our guests of honor to let the people know how they can get a hold of you, where they can listen to the podcast, how they can maybe even either guest on yours or have you a guest on theirs. How can all that happen?
Well, you guys can find us on every platform. It's crazy how much.
Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how much access you have. But Spotify, Apple, Miles, Mountains, and Brews, Instagram. Just check us up. MMB_podcast. I do a lot of Instagram there. Facebook. You can meet. We have our own page. We do have a lot of traffic. But the Instagram and Spotify, whatever platform you guys prefer, we're there.
Google Podcast.
Yeah. I don't have Android. I don't know why.
Yeah, because
so
you suck.
that's a dig at Android.
Your ways.
I'm there with Nick. We found some common ground we're gonna agree on.
We will have a lot of common ground, dude. I'm just saying, man. If the numbers are right, like I told you, the numbers are right.
Yeah.
We will be on however many times.
He still won't watch that movie. Look up.
I won't watch it.
He won't watch that movie.
God damn it!
It ain't gonna happen. Buddy.
I retract the statement.
Get one hand and wishing the other one.
Right?
It ain't gonna happen.
Need to wait for that pallet show up so we can all be drinking Twisted Teas together.
There you go.
I don't know if I've been Twisted Tea, but
we need to do a lot of day drinking, guys.
Yes, Hermes agrees. I don't know if it's Twisted. See, Hermes agrees with me, man.
I'll get some good bourbon. You bring your twisted teas. Let's make some drinks.
Let's do it. I'll drop down with some bourbon. I'll even bring over something from across the pond.
There you go. I like what you're talking.
All right, let's go ahead and break into that then. I have my decanter over there. Let's go ahead and break into that for the after party show. Theron, I keep poking you to do the thing. I'm just you're the designated thing. Do you want to do robot or do we want to do you?
Well, first I wanted to get a little plug in for myself before we.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. It's that time of year.
Yeah, it's wintertime again, and so I work with a charity called Ski and Ride for a Cure that works with a couple of different mountains to work with skiers and snowboarders to raise money for cancer. Everything from the diagnosis process through treatment, hospital, and everything right through the process of beating cancer and getting through that in your own life. So it's skiandrideforacure.org. And we'd love if you could show up and just donate a little bit of money. Every dollar helps. I think this year a lot of it's going to a couple of local cancer charities in Oregon.
Nice. Okay.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, obviously, we'll have all of those links in the description, ladies and gentlemen, for Miles Mountains and Brews, for Ski and Ride for a Cure, and for all of the other shenanigans we've discussed and this rambling rant that was an episode, guys. But
was it a rant, though? Was it a rant? I think it's just like four dudes just shooting the shit, talking business.
A lot of haterade was drank, though. A lot of haterade.
I mean, maybe we ranted about Meryl Streep for a second.
I mean, if she was standing still long enough.
Was that a rant or was that a right? No, I'm kidding.
Let's do it. Let's get spicy, guys. Come on, let's get spicy. We got China to talk about. We got politics to talk about. Let's get spicy here. Let's get spicy.
So you got to explain. So are we on taps now?
Theron, you want to give them?
All right, guys. Well, you know the way that this works and how we end every single episode. As always, don't kill the messenger.
So what's the ending, guys?
All right, so I'm opening her bottle right now.
Oh, he already drank it.
Well, I had to keep it from bubbling up. See how it's bubbling up there?
No, I can't.
Oh, he sucked the head off of it.
Right?
Yeah, I had to take the head, otherwise it would have spilled everywhere.
Yeah.
Normally it's the other way around.
If you didn't take the head.
I don't know.
Somebody's doing some R out here.
Somebody knows what to do a little bit.
Karen's probably like,
what in the hell did I sign up for?
I'm not even
you'll hear Karen's thoughts in your DMs. We'll send her to you.
Right. You'll see.
I hope she does, and hopefully it's kind.
You can talk to her right now.
About that.
Yeah. No.
Right?
The memes she sends to us alone are
nice. MMB_podcast. That's where you can find us.
You hear that, Karen? I know you do. All right.
Yeah, Karen.
So, we all have drinks, yes?
Sure.
All right. I opened an entire beer for the wife. Really?
Hey, you gotta wait, guys. He didn't even grab us a beer or nothing, man.
Okay, and y'all are ragging on me?
I know, right? We're giving her all shit, and you can't even open a beer.
Oh, I don't want an Imperial.
Part of that is because you're like, all right, let's get ready for the end of show tradition, while being very mysterious about what that tradition was.
I'm trying.
Right, hold on. Oh, damn.
Ooh, that sounds sexy.
Oh,
okay, yeah,
there's a head on that one. Get some oral on it.
Dude, what the hell?
Was it upside down when you?
I gave you some oral.
I shook that one out and I put it in your fridge.
Do you see the technique over there where he's he's spitting and stuff? That's not good.
Be careful,
technique.
that's not happening to you.
That's not good technique.
Oh no! This mother.
Be very careful about what you say, Hermes.
Who's a swallower?
Swallow. No,
So,
all right. So what is it?
The final tradition to end out taps is cheers in whatever language you prefer. So for me and Khaleesi, it's going to be Prost.
What?
Salud.
Prost.
Fuck you.
Here, ding us, babe.
Ding.
Ding.
Theron, it's been a pleasure. Hermes and wife.
All three.
Yeah.
And here.
And I know Morpheus isn't here, but hey, Morpheus, you listen. I know you do because you got nothing else to do on the boat. Cheers, bro.
Hey, Karen, this one's for you.
From all of us here at the Scuttlebutt Podcast, guys, you already know how it goes. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Awesome, guys. Woohoo!
I'll be back.
We're doing it.